Yo! Cho! Welcome back to another video, man. Today we got some JxmyHighroller. You feel me? Was a generational mistake. And off the rip, it's only 8 minutes long, so this is gonna be a short little reaction. But off the rip, everybody knew that Luka and Anthony Davis trade was probably one of the dumbest trades of all time. Probably the worst trade of all time. And that's before the injuries, right? That's before the injuries. Now, AD out for the season, and Kyrie just tore his ACL. And you know, as an athlete, if you tear your ACL, there's a pretty good chance you're not going to be the same player that you were before the injury. I'm going to keep it a buck. And I love Kyrie. I love Kyrie to death. He's probably like top 5, one of my top 5 favorite players to watch in the NBA. His game is so smooth. His handle is crazy. You know, and they were really buying into that win now mentality, I guess, with the trade for Anthony Davis and pair him up with Kyrie and Clay and try to make like a semi big three kind of joint going on. So as a win now situation, it's like, okay, like if Nico Harrison wanted to win now, I guess this is what he wanted to do, even though they made the finals the year before. But hey, bruh's different. So now that AD is out for the season because they sat him out because Kyrie got injured, and Kyrie tearing his ACL, he's probably not even going to, he's going to be out for the rest of the season and out for most of the next season. So that 1 to 2 to maybe even 3 year window is already done. Like, it's already cooked. You know what I mean? That's 1 year off of your 2 to 3 year window. They have time to win a championship with. So this is slowly becoming the worst trade of all time. Because we don't know how Kyrie is going to look after this. And Anthony Davis is always hospitalized, so we don't know how he's going to look next season as well. And then Clay is just garbage now, so we're not even going to talk about him. So, and the Lakers are like the number 2 seed last time I checked. I haven't really been keeping up with the NBA as of this year as much as I usually do. But last time I checked, the Lakers were like second in the West. Granted, they could, like 1 or 2 losses can drop them down to like 6 or 7 because, you know, the West is hella competitive. But it still speaks volumes, bro. And Luka is 25. He's gonna be with the Lakers for years, bro. It's just crazy how this trade just turned out and went to like absolute garbage within a week or so. It's absolutely crazy. And I know Nico Harrison is getting death threats like crazy. But enough of me yapping. I just wanted to give my opinion on the video, opinion on the trade, because this video is only 8 minutes long, so it's gonna be in and out. But make sure y'all like and subscribe. The original video is gonna be on the link down below. And without further ado, let's get into this video, man.
This is the 2024 Dallas Mavericks, a team that accomplished what many teams could only hope for. They made it to the NBA Finals. Now, if ever in this position, most organizations will just run it back the next season. Keep the same core group of players, possibly make a few tweaks here and there, but when it's proven to work, the last thing you want is big, drastic changes. But not the Dallas Mavericks, because out of every big, drastic change you could possibly conjure up, they've gone through every single one of them. Out of the 14 players on this championship caliber team you see here, only 2 of them are currently active on their roster as we speak.
That's OD.
The Mavericks had a winning formula, but decided it wasn't enough. It is a mess around and find out of biblical proportions, and a trade that initially felt like the most shocking and inexcusable transaction in NBA history has somehow turned out to be a whole lot worse.
Oh, no. Uh-oh. Oh, I don't feel good about that.
Nope.
Or maybe Nico Harrison, and then they get a new owner as well. And I heard something about him being like their new owner being like owning a lot of casinos and stuff like that, or something like that. I don't know. Maybe they just bad luck, bro.
Today's video is sponsored.
Get your money. Get your money, Jimmy. Get your money, Jimmy.
25 minutes. 25 measly little minutes. This is the total amount of time Anthony Davis and Kyrie Irving played on the floor together this season. It was a marvelous 25 minutes and a glimpse at just how good Dallas could be in the post-Luka era. What would ensue over the next month is a series of events that would make even the most rational, level-headed sports fans believe in curses. 5 weeks ago, when the Mavericks traded away Luka Doncic, the general consensus was that Dallas was trading away their future to win now. How in a matter of 5 weeks they've sacrificed both is a tale that will be told for generations. Since trading away their golden ticket, Dallas has lost Anthony Davis for the rest of the season to a thigh injury, they lost Daniel Gafford to an MCL sprain. In a 3-day span, they lost PJ Washington and Jaden Hardy to ankle injuries, Dante Exum to a foot injury, and Kyrie Irving out for the rest of the season after tearing an
I knew they were banged up, but I didn't know all this. Like, damn.
DL. 70% of their rotation gone. And no generational super mega star to carry the load in the meantime. Under any other circumstance, a wave
at least the underrated ballers getting some touches, you feel me? You might find like a gem in the sand. You never know, bro. Yeah, y'all gotta think positive, you feel me? I know a mad fan that's gonna stumble across this video is gonna probably like spit on the screen. Telling them to be positive when half of their roster is gone and they traded Luka. Like, yo, that's crazy.
Like this would be unbelievably bad luck. And that's really what it is. Just sheer bad luck. But it sure doesn't feel like it. Now, I'm not a superstitious person. Everything that happens can be attributed to some rhyme and reason, some cause and effect. But when you throw your franchise player out of the building and call him a fat, lazy heathen before slamming the door in his face, bad luck is gonna look a little bit more like retribution. And it is so much worse than we could have imagined. Last season, the Mavericks roster played a total of 18,134 minutes on the court. That's the combined minutes of every player on their roster throughout the regular season. As of this week, only 10% of those minutes are on their active roster. 10%. That means 90% of all minutes from last season are not currently active or playing for the Dallas Mavericks. And many of these players will continue to be out for considerable time, if not the rest of the season. The returning 10% of playing time comes from their backup center, the 8th man, and a man that's been on a 2-way contract for the last 2 seasons. If you have a Mavericks fan in your life, check on them, see how they're doing. Because what has happened to them and their team is criminal. The only consolation to the Luka trade was that at least for the near future, the Mavericks would be in title contention with Kyrie and Davis, that they would be winning games while the Lakers were prepping Luka to take the torch from LeBron before he retires. This couldn't be further from reality. From the start of the season to the infamous trade, the Lakers and Mavericks were just 1.5 points apart in net rating. Even without Luka in their lineup for over a month, Dallas was playing better than LA. But since Luka's first game with the Lakers, LA has the 7th best net rating in the NBA of +6.4, and the Mavericks have a net rating.
Can we talk about how this Jimmy Butler trade really worked out for the Warriors? I know they just got blown out the other day. But I did not expect Jimmy Butler to have every time I doubt Jimmy Butler, he always like comes out on top, like in some sort of way. You feel me? I did not think that trade was gonna work, but it's taking a lot of pressure off Steph Curry. So
of -8.2, the 3rd worst in the entire league. The Lakers look like legitimate contenders right now, winning 12 of their last 15 games. The Mavericks can hardly field a full roster at the moment. Since Luka's debut in LA, the Lakers are a +117 in point differential. In that same time, the Mavericks are a -125. Not only did Dallas mortgage their future, they inadvertently sacrificed the present. And to literally add insult to injury, the Mavericks front office and ownership has taken zero accountability for the shoddy decisions they've made throughout all of this. In fact, they've doubled down, insisting Luka was not fit to be the future of their franchise.
If you look at the greats in the league, the people you knew, you grew with, Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, Kobe Bryant, Shaq, They worked really hard every day with a singular focus to win. He said, and if you don't have that, if you don't have that, it doesn't work. And if you don't have that, you shouldn't be a part of them Dallas Mavericks. That's so stupid. That's actually so stupid. This is the same person that took y'all to the finals literally the year before. All you have to do is put more pieces around that team. Maybe trade out a few pieces, get in new pieces a little bit that work well with Luka and Kyrie, and you're gonna go back to the finals, bro. You were just in the finals last year. I don't know, bro.
But the real kicker to all of this is that in the one game that we saw how this team was intended to look, they played great. Even after Anthony Davis went down, Kyrie Irving stepped up and played some of the best basketball of his entire career, averaging 31 and 6 a game and carrying the offensive load for Dallas. But to pull this off, the Mavs had to play Kyrie far more than he ever has.
Yeah, he was
over
playing
the last
OD
month
minutes.
and a half, Kyrie played the most minutes per game of any player in the entire league. Not out of desire, but out of necessity. The Mavs needed him to play as much as possible in the absence of Luka and then AD. Over that same time span, in the 5 games Kyrie didn't play and in the one he left early due to injury, the Mavericks went 1-5 and lost by an average margin of more than 20 points. It's impossible to know if Kyrie's injury was exacerbated by the excess minutes he was spending on the court. But playing an aging 33-year-old injury-prone point guard more minutes than he's ever played before feels like a catalyst. Losing AD in his first game with the team felt like the worst-case scenario. And then Dallas lost half of their roster, and then they lost the player who was single-handedly keeping them afloat. Which brings us here. And with a Dallas Mavericks team that doesn't share an ounce of DNA with the team...
This is nasty. This is giving me like 2000... what was that year when the Lakers had a nasty lineup for their starting lineup? They had something nasty. It was like Jordan Clarkson was like their best player. It was like Jordan Clarkson... Bro, I don't know, bro. There's a graphic out there. It was nasty. I don't remember what year it was. Maybe maybe 2015. I think D'Angelo Russell was on there actually. Like D'Angelo Russell. I don't know, bro. But it was like a nasty Lakers starting lineup, bro. It was crazy. This is comparable to that. I'm not gonna lie.
Team that made it to the finals just last season. Now, you hate to see any player get injured, regardless of the circumstance. The health of the players takes precedence over everything else that's going on. But the Mavericks specifically cited Luka's health as a major concern and one of the main reasons why they didn't see a future with him. The fact that directly following these statements, the Mavericks have been hit with one of the worst injury plagues we've seen in recent history, while Luka is absolutely obliterating every team he faces on 2 healthy legs, is a level of irony that is almost too strange to even believe. As if the basketball gods are punishing them for the rash and brazen treatment of their former star. A curse. When in reality, this is the result of trading away your best player, swapping him for a player who is often injured, working your remaining best player into the ground, and stumbling into a stretch of bad luck with absolutely no recourse. Right now, the outcry from Mavericks fans is enough to make anyone want to go and protest with them. You know it's bad when Wizards fans are offering you their condolences. To no fault of their own and against their wishes, in mere months, they went from cheering on Luka and Kyrie in the NBA Finals to watching their team dissipate and be reduced to rubble. And yet, despite their disappointment for how all of this has unfolded, Maverick fans are still as steady and passionate as ever, sticking by a franchise that has completely undermined them and their loyalty. But just this past week, the Mavericks offered their fans a token of appreciation, a gift to alleviate the recent betrayal they were put through by raising ticket prices 8%.
Oh, nah.
Truly a masterclass of basketball mismanagement.
And mind you, NBA tickets are already expensive as is. So raising it by 8% is crazy.
By the worst trade in modern sports history.
Nah, that's crazy, bro. I wonder how Mark Cuban feel about this, bro. It's funny because Mark Cuban spent years building up that team. Then he sells it. Then he sells the team. And it just crumbles within the first year. That is crazy to think about, bro. That is crazy to think about, bro. I ain't gonna hold you. If I'm Mark Cuban, I'm buying my team back. Well, at this point, it's not even worth it. I ain't gonna hold you. After this, at this point, it's not even worth it, gang. Like, I ain't gonna hold you, but Shout out to all my Maps fans, bro. I hope y'all holding up, but that's the video, man. Quick little video, quick little reaction. It's only 15 minutes long. Hope y'all enjoyed. We were just talking, some sports talk, some barbershop talk, and yeah. Make sure y'all like and subscribe. The original video gonna be a link down below. And without further ado, I'll see y'all in the next video, man.